Welcome to the Dr. Till Show. I'm Dr. Till, and today we will be discussing the emotional stress of composers. Our first guest is Ludwig Beethoven. Secondly, we have Johannes Brahms. Third, Claude Debussy. And finally, Arnold Schoenberg. Let us start by getting to know where each of you are from. Beethoven, would you care to start?
I composed in Vienna.
I also lived in Vienna.
J'habite Le Paris.
Stupid Frenchman.
I lived in Vienna.
Alright. What time period are you all from, Mr. Beethoven?
I composed during the late classical period, so my pieces were all very highly organized and had melodies that were so beautiful and you could easily remember them.
I composed during the Romantic period, so the early 18th century. We still had some of the rigid classical forms, but our pieces were usually much longer or much shorter.
I wrote in the period after Brahms, in the late 18th century. We followed some of the traditions of the Romantics, but our music sounds a bit more uneasy than theirs because of the dissonance. Of course, we Impressionists weren't as dissonant as some.
You just think yours is better because it's more flowy and sounds better. We were just as chromatic as you and better than you in our expressions.
Better at making my ears bleed.
Alright, gentlemen, please. We're trying to have a civil discussion here. Beethoven, can you explain to the audience how you composed each of your pieces and what the stresses of being a composer were?
Yes, I for one was forced to play the piano for my father throughout all hours of the night. And sometimes my patrons would ask me to write pieces that I really didn't want to write. But I was able to overcome all of these roadblocks and obstacles and create music that was just so pleasing to the audience.
I was part of the group of Romantics that used some of the forms from the classical period, even though we did expand and enlarge the orchestra. Others from my time, however, wanted to do away with all forms from earlier times, and so created a whole set of new forms, like the miniatures and concert overtures. Things we agreed on, though, were that the new instruments needed to be used more, that it was cool to write music that sort of followed a written story, and that Beethoven hugely overshadowed us all and was kind of intimidating for the rest of us composers that followed him.
The Impressionists, such as myself, wanted to convey simple emotions as accurately as possible, so our pieces were more dissonant and unsettled than those written by Brahms. We did keep several of the forms from the Romantic era, though, because we thought those were pretty neat.
Who cares about those stupid forms? They're pointless. You're all pointless. I didn't use any of those forms or your stupid consonants, and my music still gets played. So there.
You call that music? Your tone rows are nothing but a set of random notes you happened to hit while you were drunk.
Okay, calm down.
You, Brahms, you call yourself a romantic. You think you're such a huge innovator. All you ever did was copy Beethoven. You idolized him and just followed everything he did. Why don't you be a real composer and write some of your own forms?
You, sir, are a disgrace to all that is good in music. You call yourself a composer? You dare to write a theory book? What does it say? Throw out all common sense and just throw dots on a page?
He's exactly right. What were you thinking, trying to write down our sacred music rules while breaking them at every turn? You should be ashamed of yourself for writing such stupid, disgusting things.
Why are you agreeing with me? You're not much better than him anyways. You call yourself a composer, but what did you write? You couldn't even finish your own Fifth Symphony.
Aw, look at that. The poor baby got beaten up by Beethoven. Ain't that just a shame?
You keep out of this.
Alright, that's about all we have time for. Can security go get Brahms, and can we get a medic for Schoenberg? All right, commercial break, please. Next on Dr. Till, we have John Cage performing his new piece, 4 minutes and 33 seconds.